let's talk about how to teach your dog their name. Not only is this important in everyday life, but it's also going to be a crucial part of teaching your dog a solid recall. Now, I wish teaching your dog only involves simply saying their name a bunch of times, which we all do, but to really get your dog to care and also to know that when they hear their name, they should look at you or come to you or whatever we would like, we need to train it. Step number 1 is to grab some treats or food that your dog likes, stand near them, and simply start working on them creating a positive association to hearing their name. This means you're going to grab some treats or food that your dog likes, you're going to stand near them, and simply say their name followed by a food reward. Then rinse and repeat. Freddie. 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 It's important to practice these beginning steps inside your home in a quiet area and work your way up to adding in some distractions. Once your dog is good with step number 1 and you start to notice that they have a positive and an anticipatory response to hearing their name, basically they'll light up when they hear their name, then you know you're ready for the next step. Step number 2 is going to be to kind of wait till your dog's not staring directly up at you if you can. Kind of ignore them politely, stand there, have your stuff ready. See if your dog's looking away at the wall or at somebody else in your household for a moment, and then try to call their name to see if you get a look back. That's when we're going to start to implement our reward marker, that could be a clicker or a yes, to help let your dog know that the second they respond to hearing their name and look back at you is the key. Freddie, yes. Good. Freddie, yes. Good job. Okay. Now, if your dog has a hard time looking away from you like my two do because they're too trained on this, don't worry. We're going to get that later when there's distractions outside in your yard, when you're practicing out at the park. So don't worry about doing that now. Now, if your dog isn't directly staring up at your soul just yet, then you can try to implement that step. Now is time for the next step. You're going to stay inside your house, and now what you're going to do is see if you can have a little bit of distance from your dog and then call their name and see if they actually run up to you in anticipation of getting a reward. Then you're going to mark yes the moment they run up and pay them. Also, if you need some help getting your dog away from you, which I'm going to need today, just take a treat or your dog's food, toss it across the room or just a couple feet away to start with, and then call your dog. As soon as they consume it, go ahead and call them. And this is a little bit of a ping pong game, but you get the idea. This is to practice calling them over. Freddie, yes. Good. Freddie, yes. Good job. Freddie, yes. Good. Once your dog's doing well with that and you're having many successful repetitions and rewarding them, some other variations to help up the ante with distractions are, for example, you can be in the room and not necessarily training in that moment. Like right now, Freddie and Jade are on their bed over here, and I'm just gonna walk back and I'm gonna randomly call my little one over and do the same thing. Freddie, yes. Good job. Doing it this way helps put your dog kind of in an element of surprise. So a few times a day, if you have an opportunity, go ahead and do this with your dog. Wait for them to not be sitting there waiting for you to ask them to do something to train, and kind of catch them off guard in the nicest way, and always reward them heavily when they do it at this stage. Once you're all successful at this stage, it's time to head outside and essentially practice the same couple of steps in an outdoor environment. Make sure that it's not a super distraction-filled environment. Try to just go out in your backyard when nothing's really going on, or out front, or you can go ahead and drive somewhere and put your dog on a long line and work there. I've taken some footage while out and about with Jade and Freddie, my two dogs, to show you some examples of different types of variations that you can try with your dog once outside when working on this name game.
Freddie, yes. Jade, yes. Good girl. Nice job, hon. Jade, yes. Nice. Jade. Yes. Good. Jade. Yes. Ready? Yes. Good. Nice job. Jade. Yes, good girl. Nice. Jade. Yes.
One final thing to note, of course you can eventually add an official recall word to this, like Jade, come, or whatever word you want to use. That's for another video perhaps. But right now, there's really no one saying that you can't have your dog come when called just off their name. That's the goal for this video. So try this at home and you should have your dog running over to you when they hear their name in no time.